Hello, and welcome to the Mad Painter Show. Okay, today's topic is what we see is what we seek. Is your vision tunneling you in a purposeful direction? Okay. So my question is, do you find yourself engulfed in so many ads that you're constantly thinking about what to buy? Or are you at a place where you're seeing all these different people and you were wishing this and wishing that, and you feel like you would be happy if this would happen? Well, if you are thinking like that and answer yes to any of those questions, you are currently at the right place. The Mad Painter Show. Okay, let me stop. Okay, so how do we go about changing this? And part of the how do we go about changing this is redirecting our focus. And in redirecting our focus, we have to be willing to change our thoughts and our actions. So in being willing to change our thoughts and our actions, we have made up in our mind and have felt it deep within that we are tired of this. We are tired of how things are going, tired of however we've been. We want some type of change. We want something to be different. And all of this comes in a part of how and what we're thinking about, where we're putting our focus, and that's playing along with how our actions are playing out. So what we're going to be doing, instead of using the mirror to look at our outer self, we're going to be using the truth and love as a way of looking at our inner reflection. Okay, so because I got my notes everywhere and I had to hurry up and get this together. Okay, so looking at our outer reflection too long and focusing on that aspect, I have to slow it down. And focusing on that aspect, it plays along with it opens the door for depression. It opens the door for anxiety, for all this, because you're focusing more on the outer you, what's going on the outside. But working on the inner man is what will shift our perspective, our actions on things, because now we're not only looking at and reflecting on the inner man, we're also feeding that inner man and giving him insight, so to speak, and helping us to have these shifts and changes that we need to make. So in choosing to be thankful, these are the things. So number one, how we go about making these changes is one, every day we are intentionally and purposely choosing to be thankful. We are waking up every day in thankfulness. I understand that sometimes we may wake up and have all these different thoughts and things going on, what happened yesterday with the fears of tomorrow. The minute you are aware of your awakeness, that is the moment you remind yourself, yep, what are we thankful for? We woke up this morning. We can breathe, we can see, we can touch, with whatever. There are a list of things that you can be thankful for and genuinely be thankful for. So that is the first start. 2, practice honesty with yourself. So in this walk, sometimes we have the conflict of who to seek out, what to do. When you are practicing being honest and truthful with yourself, and what I mean by this, you are asking yourself those hard questions, those questions that sometimes you don't want to hear, but you need to ask, and allow yourself to answer those hard questions truthfully. When you start to be in the habit of being truthful with yourself, you are now opening, it's like you're opening a doorway. You're opening yourself to now receive truth. So in you seeking, ask out, where should you start? So I'm saying this because in reading, I believe that was in the beginning of Matthew when they were discussing the birth of Jesus, that I just find this interesting that these wise men who came from somewhere else had received a message from God to go somewhere. So these are totally different people. It's not, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, it's not to my knowledge where it's deeply discussed on the the route of these wise men, like where they came from, their origins, what they were learning, how did they go about hearing God, so forth and so on. But the main thing in that is that they were wise. So in part of in practicing and telling yourself the truth, and in you being honest with yourself, ask where should you start in this truth and love seeking journey, and be open to it and listen and listen to what it has to say, because in you practicing being truthful with yourself, and also pay attention to your gut feeling, because and how you feel, like be aware and observant of you, how things are feeling, if things are feeling off, and sometimes in recognizing when we should go a certain way, and in knowing the difference in when you are afraid to do something and when it's a place you shouldn't be going, because those are two different feelings. And as far as that first one, we have to know when to push past that, because when it comes to change, a lot of times we aren't ready for change. And this is part of being prepared for the change, because we have to push past. There are a lot of changes that are going in our lives as far as age and everything that we have absolutely no control over. I mean, people try and have and gain control over it, but in a lot of times in asking the wrong questions and how to go about doing those things, you really end up killing more people than you do and actually having a long life, and then it really isn't very happy. So practice in seeking the truth, and telling the truth within yourself. So when it comes to seeking the truth, you'll know what's up. Like you'll start to see and feel the difference. Like there's a difference between a truth and a lie. And in you seeking out the truth, it's like music. When the truth is being played, the music just flows. It just flows. It sounds right. But when there's a lie in there, it's something off. It's like the vibration is off. So we are putting ourselves to a position and being sensitive to those vibrations and recognizing when there are truths and when there are lies. And you may not exactly be able to pinpoint the lie, but you'll know when the vibration is off. Okay? So where was I? Okay, so you're asking yourself where you should start in this walk, and you're listening, and you're opening yourself up to the answers, okay? And remember, our purpose is seeking this truth and love, and finding out who we are, how to get to our best selves, and discovering our purpose, how to live better in our purpose, etc., etc. So the practice honesty with thyself. The part of this is coming in, investing time and in feeding your inner self first thing in the morning. And why are we going about doing this? Because we want to start our day off in the right direction. Purposely and intentionally start ourselves off in the right direction. And it also puts it starts our day in a proper perspective. There are a lot of things going on in this world, and it's not a good idea to start our day off selfishly, because if we start our day off selfishly and only thinking about us and thinking about our lower nature, we're not helping anybody. We're not really being our best self, are we? I mean, I'm just asking. Okay, so now the third part of this in our practice and our seeking and our honesty and in choosing to be thankful, we are writing out little sticky notes, having some type of reminder every day of where we're going. We need something to put our focus on. So you recognize on social media and how social media has become a habit for a lot of us. What are you paying attention on social media, and how what you're paying attention to affects what you're thinking about throughout the day? So in recognizing these things, now you're purposely, intentionally only putting certain, because now if we're being tunnel vision, and think of like a movie. In a movie theater, everything else is around you for the purpose of being tunnel vision on what that image is on the screen. We are now purposely putting a purposeful image on our mind every day to give us something to work towards, to give us something purposeful to work towards, think of creatively, and how we're going to go about building a better selves. And not only is this better selves involving us, but this better selves is involving a better community. Because when we help ourselves to be better and more loving, we're also sharing that betterness and love with other people. And knowing how to love ourselves, we better know how to love our neighbor. We're not going to be all judgmental, because it's when you understand how to love yourself and how to better talk to yourself in truth and love, boy, these conversations will start to get easier for those difficult questions. And also you would be preparing yourself for when you have a mate, because when it comes to having those difficult conversations, you'll already be used to it because you've been having it with yourself. And it won't be all heated like, oh my God, why did you do this? Why did this happen? You'll be at a place to, I don't know where that came from. You'll be in a place to sit down and really address hard issues with your partner, just like how you do with yourself in truth and love, and just like how we're having this talk right here, even though I'm having this talk by myself, but you get the point. Okay, so we're gonna go to what was I writing down the sticky notes, help you keep your mind on what you're focusing on, and keeping your inner man open to receive ideas and to give you wisdom. This is why you want to feed it. So daily, when you're putting yourself in the habit of feeding yourself wisdom and love, feeding yourself in the truth, it's a process. These are things that you're either implanting in yourself or you're watering. I mean, the increase will come. But as you're working on these things within yourself and finding out these truths about the earth, about other people, about etc., whatever this is in which you're seeking, it's going to teach you more about you and more about how to treat people, and being more at peace with yourself and how you go about doing things. Okay, so the last part, number 5, you want to go about remembering discipline plays a heavy role in this walk. Part of being your best self is recognizing discipline. Yes, discipline is very, very key in this journey. Every day we're in a habit of doing certain things. And here you are like an observer. You are now in a place to observe from what past wisdom has brought you to now, when you're learning and gaining more wisdom, what is that doing for you? And taking time, try it for a week, okay? Try this for a week and see how, just look and see how the differences that it makes in your life. It's not against anything in your morale. It's not against anything in your character. It's not anything that's going to make you do any damage to yourself or anyone else. So it's kind of like one of those things like, what does it hurt to try? And this is the beginning part of being willing to step up to the plate and making up in your mind, let's try and make a difference. Let's skip the try. Let's do it. Let's make the difference in what it is that we are doing every single day, and add every single day, and piling that on. Remember that drip in those past videos and what I was talking about? If you had a leaky faucet and a cup sat up under there, eventually when that drips long enough, when you're not even paying attention, it will fill and overflow. This is the purpose of getting up and being thankful every day, being truthful with yourself, putting up daily reminders and recognizing discipline and learning how to discipline yourself, and being willing to tell yourself no. Because in telling yourself no now on certain things, ooh, baby, the reward later on, and you'll feel so much freedom in that discipline. Okay, so truthful conversations with self, allowing, maybe I needed to have brought that back up because that wasn't where I was. But in being truthful with yourself, we need to have these truthful conversations, recognizing what you're tired of. What is it that you need? What is it that you need to change? We can recognize our weaknesses, and in recognizing those weaknesses, let's build on it. It's nothing wrong with those weaknesses, because In our weakness, he is made strong. But seek that out. Be willing to find out. There are all these different people that have received information from God. We have a head, right? And there are different parts of the body in this head. I did not even write this down. This is dope. There are different parts of the body, even though it's connected with the head, but they all have different functions. And even though the fingers is not like the calf, and even though the thighs is not like the shoulder, everything in the body serves a purpose. And even though they have different operations and may speak a different language, it all connects with the head. And once everything is alignment, it will serve the purpose that it needs to serve and play the role that it needs to play. And it is for us to be thankful for that and to find out what that is every single day. Every single day. So whatever it is that you're allowing for the outside to implant on your mind and for you to put focus on, no. This is why we're creators. This is why we have the ability to go beyond this whole just idea of manifestation for money and manifest. No. Let's think bigger than this. When you find out how to go about loving yourself and how an amazing of a jewel and a precious thing you are, you'll also recognize how we're all connected and how precious everybody else is, you know? So much love. If you remember to subscribe, like, share. If you know anybody if you feel that this helped you, share this to someone you know who's been talking about this thing. We're all connected. We all got this. We all serve a purpose, and you have something that I don't, and I need you too, baby. Mad Painter Show. Have a great day, guys.